Hello and welcome to Create a Future-Proof Google Ads Strategy with Automation and Quality Data session. I'm Sharon Escuderis, Director of SEM with Metric Theory. Metric Theory is a performance digital marketing agency that recently became a part of the Media Monks family of companies. We help our clients build a full funnel growth engine across paid search, paid social, programmatic media, and other emerging channels. You'll most likely and most definitely find more great content from our colleagues during this AdWorld's virtual event. I've been working with Google Ads and other search marketing platforms for the past 10 years, and it always fascinates me how these platforms have evolved over the years, particularly Google Ads. Being an industry leader, Google has paved the way for some very high standards when it comes to direct marketing performance, ease of use of marketing tools, and of course, remote reporting and tracking capabilities. Since paid search marketing is a constantly evolving and ever-changing industry, we're going to talk today about ways we can future-proof our Google Ads accounts, our Google Ads strategies, with high-quality data and automation. These core tactics that we're going to talk about today will help ensure strong account performance, even some years from now. So let's dive right into it. First of all, I'd like to bring you to a brief history lesson. Since the very beginning of Google's launch of its advertising platform about 21 years ago, Google was working on numerous changes and new features that are supposed to help advertisers reach their business goals more easily and more conveniently. So things like new smart bidding strategies, including target CPA, dynamic search ads campaigns, more loose keyword match type behavior, smart display campaigns, responsive search ads, and of course, smart shopping campaigns for e-commerce businesses. And in most cases, these new features and products work pretty well. They simplify the process of building, managing, and optimizing our advertising campaigns while giving some new automated ways to improve our ad targeting. The most recent addition of Performance Max campaigns is just another attempt to bring marketing automation to another step further into the future. You can most likely already see where Google Ads is heading to with all these changes throughout the years. So the biggest question now is, what's next? What is waiting for us in 2022, 2023, and how we can prepare for these changes and still maintain our competitive edge against our competing advertisers. So how do we do just that? Well, when it comes to core features that haven't changed and will most likely won't change too much in the near future, we can boil them down to three key elements that are needed for successful account performance. And we're going to cover them in more detail today. So looking at those key elements, the first key thing here is accurate conversion tracking. While it sounds somewhat simple, in a lot of cases, advertisers are missing a major opportunity to improve their Google Ads performance just by adding primary and secondary conversion actions or integrating offline conversion action tracking. So offline conversion tracking allows Google optimized campaigns based on the most important outcome, which is very often being hidden due to overly simplified conversion tracking structure in advertisers' accounts. So most importantly, campaigns should be optimized towards some real business outcome and not just towards marketing objectives. So the actual sales and not just form fills or signups. The next element here is conversion value-based smart bidding strategies. Focusing on conversions without any value attributed to them just leads to quantity versus quality gains for the advertiser. In a lot of cases, even e-commerce product sales can be valued differently based on estimated lifetime values for each new customer. So weighing conversion actions based on their actual business value is the right way to optimize account for real business impact. By properly pairing conversions that have different values with smart bidding strategies, we can inform Google's algorithm to optimize towards outcomes that will bring the most impact. So that's where we should put more focus on. And finally, the right account structure. With constantly evolving match type and ad type changes from Google, having the right structure ensures less drastic changes in the account when there are new industry updates or changes with Google Ads. Having well-built search structure with exact and phrase keywords that are supplemented with broad DSA, display, and video campaigns for marketing and prospecting ensures correct account structure. Important to keep in mind that it works. Important to keep in mind that what works for one type of business most likely will not work for different type of business. So we should focus more on things that actually can work well for specific cases. When we think about conversion tracking, the most important things are tracking accuracy and actual events we're tracking, or in other words, secondary and primary conversion actions. Often, tracking is just the final goal, or conversion is not enough, especially if there's a little conversion volume. We need to try to supplement those conversion actions with additional conversions. So supplementing primary conversion action with kind of other conversion actions, such as signups, add to carts, can drastically help provide additional signals for further optimizations for Google's algorithm and smart bidding. So, for example, offline conversion integration for B2B advertisers is one of the easiest ways to improve their sales pipeline quality. Why is that, you may ask? Well, when we shift focus from just generating leads to generating leads that become actual closed deals, we can see significant improvement in conversion quality. However, due to the nature of the B2B sales funnel, conversion volume becomes an issue because no one is closing tens or hundreds of deals a day or even a week. This is where secondary conversion actions come in to supplement the data and provide additional insight for Google to optimize towards. Basically, the more data you can give to Google, and in this case, more conversion data, the better the accuracy you will achieve with optimizing and using smart bidding. So when it comes to automation smart bidding, we can admit that manual bidding is just not a feasible solution for any large-scale performance advertising. There are just no proper ways to tap into real-time bidding with manual adjustments. Google smart bidding solutions are so much more sophisticated now that it just becomes not a question if we should use it. The question is how to use it most effectively. And I think here's the answer. Value-based smart bidding strategies with enough conversion volume. Why value-based bidding, such as target ROAS or max conversion value, is better than target CPA? Well, let's imagine that we have two conversion action. In this case, it's conversion A and conversion B. If we're using target CPA smart bidding strategy, Google will try to drive as many conversions as possible at a given CPA target, well, considering there are no budget constraints. However, when we think about actual business outcomes, these two conversion actions can drive very different impact. So let's imagine we're talking about some SaaS type of company. We track two conversion actions, one for form fill, where we capture the initial lead, and another one for completed sale, which usually happens offline. Obviously, the sale conversion informs us about the most important outcome, which is the actual sale. So we should try driving traffic that has the highest chance of converting into that sale, not just the form fill, the initial lead. If we don't have any assigned values for both actions, for Google they look exactly the same. It's just that the form fill conversion will have a lot more volume because we have more form fills than the actual sales. But the most important action here is still sale for us. So how do we fix this problem? Well, we add value for each conversion. Let's imagine that we have generated $20,000 in actual sales last month. We drove 100 form fills. So each form fill on average can be valued as $200. Since we have received 4 actual sales, on average, we can value that conversion for $5,000. Now, when we pair these values based on conversion actions with smart bidding strategies, such as TROAS or maximize conversion value, we're informing Google's algorithm that we have highly valued conversion that we should put more focus on. So this helps improve the final conversion rates when we measure sales and not just front-end form fills. We have seen significant performance improvements when using this type of smart bidding approach and believe that it will become even more effective and important in the future. So definitely something to focus on. The very last element we discussed is account structure. It is the most crucial and fundamental element of any Google Ads account strategy. At the beginning, we discussed how Google Ads has been changing with their new updates, new features, new products. But what is important to understand is what is not changing, or at least not entirely. So we can assume that keywords won't go away or won't change in any drastic way. Yes, there are changes to its match type behavior, but the actual keywords still exist and most likely will exist in the long-term future. It's still one of the main targeting signals for search campaigns. Since ad copy, listing is one of the main components for every search results page, we can be confident that it won't go away. We will most likely introduce more automated ways to structure and recommend new copy elements, headlines, descriptions, but we shouldn't lose complete control in what copy we want to write and use. And lastly, it's our landing pages. Kind of similarly to ad copy, we may see some automated suggestions, but since the purpose of every ad is to drive traffic to advertisers' website or app, we should always have control in what landing page we can use. So how should we structure accounts that can still work well in the future? Well, use both exact and phrase match types to trigger our relevant searches. That makes sense. Since Google has introduced relevancy to its match type behavior, more specific exact or phrase keywords should always serve against broad match type. So Google will put more preference towards exact and match as long as they have a higher relevancy. And it actually helps ensure that users are being directed to most relevant ad and landing page. How granular you should go? Well, of course, it depends on your business and vertical you're in. Some things that work for e-commerce accounts definitely won't work so well for B2B or travel verticals. So don't shy away from broad and DSA campaigns. Just make sure to pair them up with smart bidding strategies for best results and consider these broader campaign types more kind of supplemental to your core account structure. When we think about ad copy, RSA should become your main focus. Expanded text ads will eventually be deprecated, so there's a chance that Google will force the rollout and start serving these ads less and less. So that's where more focus on RSA should come in. Optimizing RSA headlines and descriptions towards your main KPIs and improving RSA ad strength will be main tasks for any copy improvements. And then for landing pages, well, harder to optimize from the media side, it will always be a kind of, and will play a crucial role in any media strategy. Make sure that there's a relevancy between your search keywords, copy, and landing pages, and start optimizing design elements, conversion flow, and your copy on the landing page, because it will always be important. So it's something that should be included in every paid strategy. And when we combine all these tactics together, it just works. We can see significant growth in business revenue or other business objectives across our advertisers. These tactics aren't new or some secret ones. This is why it works well, and they should work well in the future. In some cases, we're seeing even up to 105% growth in paid business revenue, which is fantastic results for established accounts. So start with your conversion driving strategy, select conversions that can inform Google Smart Bidding algorithm, and calculate different weights for each conversion based on the value each conversion is driving. If you don't know specific monetary values, you can use something simpler as like weights from 1 to 5, and with 5 being the most important conversions and 1 being the least important one. Use smart bidding strategies. Most ideally, use value-based strategies such as target ROAS or max conversions value. These strategies will help drive conversions with the highest value for advertisers' business versus just focusing on quantity with conversion-based bidding strategies. And finally, structure accounts in line with best practices for different verticals. Don't go all in with broad match types, since exact and phrase match types are still extremely important, more relevant, and can deliver more control for you and your advertiser. At the same time, still leverage broader campaign types with smart bidding, as they will deliver incremental conversions that you won't capture with very granular account structure. Thank you and happy bidding.